Well, good morning, life changers. Good morning, all of you who are connected to Shalom, City of Peace. Good morning, Manna fam. This is a great morning. This is a great morning. And the reason it is a great morning is because one of the leading pastors, if not the leading pastor in this region, is on with me this morning. Now, you can't see him. I know you're looking for him. I know you're looking for him. You're going to hear him. You're going to hear him. We got some technology issues, but we said we're gonna adapt and overcome. You know, if Jesus can go to the cross, we cannot let a little technology stop us. Good morning, Reverend Freddie J. Clark. Come on, man, talk to us.
Bishop, good morning. I was about to hang up. You said so many things that I don't.
Don't you hang up on me, man.
Good morning to you and everybody. Yeah. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing very well. Reverend Dr. Clark, we thank you for being with us. We thank you for hosting. And I just want to do a check with everybody. Hey, do you all hear him? And let me know, put it in the chat area if you can hear him. Do I need to turn him up? Do they need to talk up? I got him. So y'all talk to us before we begin our conversation about Monday, Thursday, and of course about tomorrow's 7 last words. So yes, we can. So y'all can hear him. Jacqueline says, okay, good morning. Somebody else talk to me. Can you hear him? Say, okay, say yes, they can hear. Okay. Reverend Dr. Clark, they say they can hear us. So can you just
that's so great. That's so great. I wish I could have had my gadgets to work where I could be seen, but being heard will have to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, faith comes by hearing.
You already know. you already know.
Faith comes by hearing. Yeah. Thank you again. Really, let me just say this initially, that you are really responsible for the bi-state gathering that'll happen tomorrow at Shalom, as we are so very happy to host this year's 7 last words of Jesus. But you're the initiator of it, Bishop. You are the founder, and your vision was so impactful that we were operating in our own neighborhoods in isolation, and you moved us to a place where we could include others from across the water. And so now we have this bi-state gathering, and people are afforded an opportunity to hear not just preachers whom they see and hear all the time, but those who are in other places in Illinois. And I think we owe you a bit of gratitude for that. And I hope I can live up to hosting it as you have done in the past and others. And so the Shalom family is really looking forward to tomorrow.
Well, we thank you. We thank you so much, Reverend Clark. Here's the thing, you know, Dr. Clark, if we don't come together, we ain't gonna make it. Especially right now. Especially right now. If we don't come together. So this is just one symbol of us coming together. And we'll talk to all the Manna fam. Thank you for a thing. We're going to greet you in a minute, but we just want, as pastors to this community, we just need to speak a word concerning where we are in this community, this region, in this country. Dr. Clark, can you just share a pastoral moment? And we'll get to all of the things we're going to get to, but just a pastoral moment to the people as they're gathering online now.
Yeah, again, if ever there was a week or time that we collectively express our gratitude for the grace extended to us by Jesus Christ, this is the this is the week. Brothers and sisters all over the world recognize today and this weekend as that which is paramount to our faith. That we have hope. We have living hope in Jesus Christ. That as we are being bombarded with news on CNN, MSNBC, for those that watch Fox, this week during this time we get our news from another network.
All right.
And that the most powerful statement in Christendom for every believer is that he lives.
Yes.
He lives.
Yes.
And I didn't want to move from Thursday to Sunday morning, but it's just hard when you know that's your hope. And so I want to encourage everybody that's a part of this gathering, that's a part of this discussion, that if you want to be encouraged, you utilize and remind yourself of what you already know about our conquering King.
He's our conquering King.
He's our conquering King, and to God be the glory.
To God be the glory. And our conquering King on this day, what we call Monday, Thursday, is what we want to just have a little brief education, information, as well as inspiration for all the Manna fam and all of those who are in our region and beyond. Dr. Clark, what comes to mind when Monday, Thursday comes to mind?
It is the day or the moment that Jesus ushers in this new commandment to love one another. That it's the occasion of the Last Supper, where Jesus shares the Passover meal with the disciples, and to this day, because he says do it, we find ourselves doing it as he says do. And there's another celebration that takes place. It doesn't look like a celebration, but it is foot washing, where Jesus gets up from his place of sitting, his arrangements of sitting, and wraps himself in a towel, and there's a basin that he pours water in, and he begins to wash the disciples' feet. I think those two incidents, those two narratives, are to be practiced on the day, or at least we are reminded of those practices on today. There's a whole lot of other historical minimums that's associated with Monday, Thursday. However, I didn't, and I purposely moved from that to get to the real meaning of it. And hopefully those that are listening can take the time after this conversation is over and go and look it up for themselves.
And you know, that is so true, because the Latin word Monday means command, and he commands us.
That's right.
He commands us, and he says, I need you to lead with love.
Yes.
And there is Peter, who is always outspoken, but he speaks so many times on behalf of all of us. Says, can I really do that? And Jesus' response to him is, feet first, Peter. Feet first.
Yeah, how about that?
How about that? And then he moves further and says, the whole thing of this leadership is surrendering, doing the thing. Now, isn't it interesting that the Pope comes down off of that high place in St. Peter's and finds prisoners and wash their feet?
How about
How
that?
much more of us who are of our
Yeah.
Protestant tradition do the same? We need to wash feet right now like never before, Reverend.
And Bishop, I think you're right. In fact, I don't think I know you're right. This is a marvelous conversation too. One of the things I think may be missed in the washing of feet is that during that time, the disciples were in disarray.
Mm.
And the cluster of the disciples were extremely dysfunctional.
Mm.
You had Judas, that was the betrayer. You had the progressive brothers, James and John, that were seeking seats. And you had prideful Peter that wanted to arrange his own agenda as to how Jesus' ministry ought to be in effect.
Oh my God, you're making this real.
Yeah, is that about right? Is that about right? And in all of that dysfunctionality, Jesus washes their feet. And so the act of feet washing is an act of God's grace.
Mm.
That we don't deserve it.
No.
But he elevates us by washing our feet to a place where we can re-identify ourselves and our priorities to be a part of the kingdom.
You just helped me, Reverend, because I never looked at. I looked at the evening as a moment of, okay, we're washing. I come out of a Pentecostal tradition where washing feet was done. I remember so well growing up and washing the feet of adult men that we would separate. And the women would go in the choir stand in my daddy's rural church, and the men would be in the pews, and we did it once a quarter because they said, now, don't do this too often. He said, because that's, if you come here wrong, something will happen to you. That's just how serious they were. And I just remember washing the feet. But what you're saying is, here is Jesus, God speaking through Jesus. I'm going to wash feet of people who ain't even together.
Exact. That's the point. That's the theological thread that I hope our group today can take with them. That just as the disciples in the first church were dysfunctional, centuries later, in fact, in the 21st century, we wrestle with the same kind of dysfunctionality as we try to move people to kingdom living and kingdom believing. However, Jesus shows us, he gives us an example that a way to do that, besides the supper, which brings us to this point of commonality of the faith. But another way to do it is to know that there is people who may be at odds with you or in odds with the direction of the movement, that disagree with you on things that are important for you and how you move about to develop them theologically and in ministry, and who may say things about you behind your back, and you know that, and you still move, in the direction of love towards them, because that's exactly what Jesus did. Jesus got through doing it, and then he gets up and says, and as I have done.
As I have done.
Come on.
As I have done.
Come on. Yes, sir. Yeah. I need now for you to do the same thing. That if I can humble myself, knowing what I know about the one who's going to betray me, the ambition of those that want to sit on my left and right is those as if seats are paramount in the kingdom. And then the person who refuses to have part with me because he cannot see me stooping to what he thinks is
beneath him.
Low.
My,
yes, beneath. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, and if Jesus can show us all of that, I think that he can show every believer how to tunnel through difficult situations.
You know, we got to go, but that as I have done, Doc, that'll preach. Dr. Clark, that will preach. I could preach it right now, as I have done, because there's so many times that we don't do as I have done. And how do I and as you have said, he knows all, and he is aware of everything, but he still serves them.
Come on, that this is so good.
Oh
Bishop,
my God,
this is so good, Bishop.
Oh my God. Well, you know what, Dr. Clark,
this is so good. This is so good.
So now here, if you as we kind of wrap this and put a bow on it, what is it that you would say to the Manna fam as we move into today, as well as we gather with the Shalom family tomorrow 12 noon? What would you say to all of us in some parting way?
That's you think that's the least of your questions, but that might be the more difficult question that you've asked. I don't know, other than that as we gather on tomorrow, if the Lord should say the same, let's come with the right mindset, right spirit, and look to be an encourager for those that have been asked to preach on tomorrow, and be open to the Word of God, and then to authentically praise Him for all that He has done and continues to do.
He does.
I think that would that's what I would say to everybody on today.
So, Manna fam, you have heard the word from our host pastor that will be hosting tomorrow 12 noon. We want to see you there. Invite others. Don't come by yourself. Just get ready for a powerful worship by state, 7 last words. And these tremendous men and women of God are coming together for our region to speak into the life of the entire region. It is sponsored by, not only hosted, but has a sponsorship to it, and that's World Vision. World Vision is a ministry that typically, as African Americans, we have not tapped into, but we are now. And so, to that end, Joycelyn, who is the regional area person, they are hosting it, not hosting it rather, but sponsoring it to get the word out about how we can touch our people in the motherland. You'll hear more about that, but thank you so very, very much. Wherever you are, wherever you go to church, if they have a Monday, Thursday service, make sure you go. Make sure we see you tomorrow. And wherever you go to church on Resurrection Sunday morning, show up. Bring somebody with you. Bring someone with you. Don't come by yourself, that we may be able to speak the gospel and souls be saved, lives encouraged, and hearts are changed. Reverend, thank you so much. Dr. Clark, thank you very, very much.
Bishop,
yes.
Bishop, can I give the address for those that may not have
Go right ahead.
Can I give the address to the church? That's 5491 North Highway 67.
Say that one more time for everybody.
5491 North Highway 67, Shalom Church, City of Peace.
Now, one last quick thing, Dr. Clark, are we streaming?
I I don't know for sure. I think so, but I don't. See, this is where I get in trouble because I start to say one thing without having conversed with my team.
Well,
But
you
I
know
think
that's what we do as pastors. We say it, and then everybody got to follow up and make it happen. That's what we do. We speak out of turn. Now everybody got to scramble and said, Dr. Clark said it. Bishop said it, so we got to do it.
So you can tell I've been in trouble before because I'm telling you, I've had my hand slapped a few times.
And me too. And me too.
Oh,
so make sure you're there, whether you can watch or not. Just show up. Hey, Manna fam, share this. If this bless you today, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. The Lord be with you today. His face shine upon you and give you peace. We'll see you tomorrow morning with Manna fam. And we hope to have Maya back on and get her connected, Bishop Maya White. And then we will be all together, 12 noon. Shalom, City of Peace in Florissant. Don't be late because you might be sitting in the back of the church. God bless you guys. Bye now.